with Sean McKiernan, not a positive result that you were hoping for, possibly?
Yes, basically. Brian, it is. That's the unfortunate truth of the matter. But I suppose our democracy is very important. It's far better than being in an African dictatorship and being shot in a coup or something. John Bowman, the great political scientist and RTE commentator, said that the great thing about our democracy is that we change our leaders with a ballot paper in one hand and a pencil in the other. So that's far more preferable than bombs and bullets. And democracy has many flaws, but it's still the least worst system.
But of course there were a number of factors mitigating against some or certain type of results within the local elections, in that the government party received a lot of flack from the media on a number of issues, particularly the health one. So would you have seen that when you were on the canvas?
I suppose I do have to contradict your narrative slightly, in the sense that I found the canvas very enjoyable. I thought, actually, although I'm proven wrong today, I thought it had actually gone better than 2009. I felt on a personal basis I knew an awful lot more people. But that's it. The ballot box is the ballot box tells all.
But when they say all politics is local, Bailieborough particularly would have a diverse type of population now. Would you feel that with the change in the constituency that would have taken some of the people who would traditionally have voted for you, maybe brought some more in that mightn't have been fully aware of your track record within politics in the area and in the county particularly?
No, the bottom line is I didn't get enough votes. My vote would appear to have collapsed. It would appear, I'm not taking this personally, I would suspect that as the leader of the Fine Gael group in Cavan County Council, I was definitely a target. I was someone who was probably better known than a lot of my running mates. So I was a target in the same way Clifford Kelly was in 2009. He was the leader of the government party in the local council chamber, and I think he paid the price. And I have to say, fair play to him. He's used the last 5 years wisely and has staged a stunning comeback here this afternoon.
Yeah, but of course there's 2 years now to the general election, and a lot of people are going to have to review some of what they were doing, some parties similarly. Would you feel that there's an opportunity now within the next 2 years to gain some of that loss that has taken place?
I think that well, firstly, I think Enda Kenny and the government are doing a very good job in spite of the situation they discovered 3 years ago. Having said that, I think the government in the last 6 months, with the departure of the Troika, with the departure of the IMF and that oversight and that concern which permeated through every decision because of the structures and the guidelines of the Troika, that the government has lost focus. It has allowed itself to be tripped up over relatively silly things, and it hasn't been able to communicate its message properly. And certainly that did come across on the doors. I felt, personally speaking, that I was fighting a good battle in clarifying a lot of those issues. It seems I didn't. But I do think the government needs to renew its focus. I think overall it's a good government. The national finances have been stabilised. That was what Fine Gael went into government to do. We were very clear about this. We did promise austerity. We promised that we'd rectify the public finances. That is probably 90% achieved. And I suppose the issue now is for the ordinary man in the street and the ordinary woman in the street to start to see the benefits in their own pocket. And we do have a squeezed middle in our society, and I think they want to start seeing a bit of tax relief.
So there's one or two ingredients that while some of them may not be immediately apparent, there are one or two ingredients that will have to be looked upon for the general election, so that whatever majority that you had, you can retain it, or at least
not. Well, I think the country faces a very decisive contest in the next general election. I think what today has demonstrated is that really it's a fight between Fine Gael. Fianna Fáil hasn't made the progress they expected. This has been, I think, their second worst election in their history. So they're not making the resurgence that they hoped for or expected. And really the next government of this country is going to be a battle between Fine Gael on one side and Sinn Féin and independence on the other. And I think people will have to, the middle classes of this country, a lot of people who vote for Fianna Fáil in this country are going to have to do some very serious thinking about the economic direction they want the country to go in. And I think they're going to have to think very seriously about if we've made these immense sacrifices to stabilise our public finances, where do they want to bring the country over the next 5 years? Do they want to bring it into uncertainty and despair again, or do they want very clear and very stable centre ground government and leadership? And I have to say, I have immense personal respect for my Sinn Féin colleagues in this county, immense personal respect for them as individuals, but I don't want to see their party in government.
And has it been a surprise with the success of the Independents and Sinn Féin? You were saying you had a good canvass. Is it a surprise that people had made that decision to go against what people consider mainstream politics, to go to Independents and Sinn Féin?
Well, as I say, I did feel I had a very good canvass. Of course, people can be very polite and do something else in the privacy of the ballot box. And Michael Collins, in his final diary entry, said that the people are splendid. The premise of our constitution is that the Irish people are sovereign, and they have demonstrated their sovereignty here today. And if we don't like it, we kind of have to lump it if you're a politician at the receiving end of it. That's it. As I say, it's far better than the alternatives. And that's the reality we're faced with here this afternoon in the Count Centre.
So you have to take a few things away and regroup and get back on the political trail again.
Well, Brian, I've spent my entire adult life involved in politics and in Fine Gael. I am only 32. I'll be 33 in September. I suppose for the last 7 years I've been a public representative in Cavan County Council. I've been chairman of the council. A lot of people have been around in local government far longer than I have and not had that honour. I led the majority party on the council, so I've had a pretty good run for the last 7 years. I've spent an immense amount of my time before that involved in Fine Gael in a voluntary capacity at national level. So, to be quite frank, I intend to have a good rest over the next couple of weeks and a good think. And I certainly won't rule anything in or out about the future. I'm not going to dismiss a return in the future, and nor am I going to say right here, right now, that I will go at it again. I'm going to have a good, long rest.
So that's Sean McKiernan, who unfortunately this time will not be successful, but you are still upbeat and looking forward to continued work within the political sphere.
I might become a presenter on Cavan TV and have more spare time.
There are plenty of opportunities for people, and we're going worldwide, so you don't even have to concentrate as much on local issues as we would.
One of my great honours as chairman was to launch the station.
And we were very honoured, and that programme is still live on the web, which proved that local TV and web TV is a thing of the future, as is new style politics in Ireland. Thank you very much, Sean, from the Count Centre.
Thank you.